is, let's see, it's about 3.5 inches off the floor. I found a bowl, so I think everybody has a bowl, and this bowl is 3.5 stainless steel bowl. You could probably use a porcelain bowl. Plastic bowl probably would work too, perfect height. Or just find a few books that you can stack 3.5. And this is the clamshell pose, so we'll be going there. Going to what I call God's gift to humans pose. Okay, so I did put a blanket on my mat, like a little softness. So if you want to go get a blanket to put under your mat, and of course I have my belt. We don't need the belt, but you might want the belt. The pose we will work on today is Setubandha, okay? And it looks like this, okay? So we'll do some warm-up, and we'll warm up the pelvis, we'll tap the bones, we'll move the shoulders around, okay? So let us start in God's gift to humans. So you want if you're using a blanket, you want your head not on the blanket. So the blanket is to pad your hips. If you want softness under your hips or your shoulders, that's what the blanket is for. Okay? And the knees are bent. And we have a nice flat back. So you can kind of roll your shoulders from side to side, flatten your back, turn your elbow cracks up and your palms up towards the ceiling, just to get an idea of that flatness. You have a natural curve in your lower back, okay? And remember yesterday, we did a few pelvic tilts. So let's just start there. So we're moving the tailbone up, that natural curve is moving down, and tailbone down, the natural curve is moving up. So the navel moves back, the navel moves up, the navel moves, the navel moves up, and the navel moves back, the navel moves up. Okay, so let's stop in neutral. And we'll do a little bone tapping, okay? This is from Ruthie Alon, who is the Bones for Life person. She evolved the Bones for Life from Feldenkrais. So what we're going to do is we're going to flatten the shoulders. We're going to just lift the pelvis up and tap it down. Tap, tap. Lift up, tap, tap. Lift up, tap, tap. Lift up, tap, tap. So in her system, the bone growth and bone nourishment positively reacts to this tap, tap, tapping. Okay? So you can imagine if something's sluggish and you keep tapping it, you're going to lubricate it, you're going to loosen it. Okay? And it's gentle. Up, tap, tap. Up, tap, tap. And now we're going to come up and swing our hip to the left. Come back to the center, tap, tap. Come up, swing to the right. Come back to the center, tap, tap. Come up, swing to the left, come back to the center, tap, tap. Come up, swing to the right, come back to the center, tap, tap. Come up, swing to the left, come to the center, tap, tap. Come up, swing to the right, swing to the center, tap, tap. And now just rest. You can bring the knees in towards your chest and just gently roly-poly from side to side. Widening, softening, relaxing the lower back. So now we're going to do the same tapping for the shoulder harness, where, you know, two big spots where osteoporosis happens is in the pelvic femur and also in the shoulders, of course, in the wrists. So we're going to start with our right hand. Okay, fingernails up. And if you watch, I'm lifting my fingernails towards the ceiling and then dropping the back of the shoulder down. So it's a tapping. Lift up, tap down. 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 And slide the hand down. And now with the left hand, repeat. Lift the fingernails up, drop the back of the shoulder down. Lift up, down, up, down, up, down. It's a hydraulic movement. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay. So now we're going to do repeat, but this time bend the wrist. So pointing towards the center line, kind of like, you know, periscope up and tap, up and tap, up and tap. So we're stressing this joint a bit. Up and tap, up and tap, up and tap. And now turn your periscope the opposite direction towards the outside of the body. Up and tap, up and tap, up and tap, up and tap. One more time, up and tap. And slide your hand down and relax. Now with the left hand, turn the wrist. So we're stressing here, stressing, stretching. Up, tap, up, tap, up, tap, up, tap, up, tap. And let's turn the periscope towards the outside edge. Up and tap, up and tap, up and tap, up and up and tap. And come on down. Adjust your pose. Wiggle your shoulders closer together. Rest the little finger side of your hand on the mat. And let's just slice up as if your fingers were following a railroad track up over your head. Now, thumbs are down. You may not reach the bottom of the floor. Some people may have to stop here because they have to bend their elbows because shoulders are tight. That's just fine. And slide back down. Inhale, exhale. Keep the elbows straight. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And one more time. Inhale, exhale. Now we're going to hold our elbows and just move them above the head, flattening the shoulder. You can wiggle the shoulder blades together. Move the hips towards your feet, lengthening the back body. And breathe. And bring the elbows down. Reverse hold on the elbows and up over your head again. Okay, so we have a lot of lymph nodes here that are getting squeezed like a sponge and unsqueezed, helping to release toxins. So one of the good things about yoga is it does reduce your stress, your hormonal stress. It squeezes and flushes your lymphatic system, and it also builds your lung capacity. 3 things that help your immunity. In addition to, in this case, building bones, okay, because we're practicing one of the 12 Fishman methods, but you don't have to have osteoporosis to do it. Okay, so now bring our knees into our chest. Flatten the back, so bring the chin slightly down. Okay, let's go over to our clamshell position. Okay, on the right side, you can put a block or pillow under your head and assume the clamshell. Okay. So we'll wait a minute until everybody gets there. If you want to put something between your knees, you can do that, but you want a right angle and a right angle. Okay. So we're going to inhale as we lift that top arm up. So here might be far enough for you today. That's just fine. If you want to go a little further, go a little further. We're getting a big stretch on these lymphatic nodes. And then exhale. Inhale, and we're tuning into ourselves, tuning out of the outside chatter. And exhale. Lift that top arm. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. I'm following my hand with my eyes. Exhale. Okay, and then just slide that front top hand forward and back, and you'll feel your shoulder girdle moving. Okay, forward and back. It's almost like you're wiping your hands. The palms are wiping together, and the shoulder girdle is moving. Okay, so now we're going to go over onto the left side. So you can just roll over. I'm going to turn. Okay. And create the clamshell on the left with the right angle under the angle here. Okay, I'll wait a moment for people to get situated in your clamshell position. And we're going to inhale. The eyes follows the hand. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And let's slide that top hand back and forth. So we're moving the shoulder girdle. Okay, and from here, straighten your legs and roll over on your belly. Okay, so yesterday we did the cobra. So stack your hands, right hand on top of left hand, forehead on top of the stack, and just wiggle your tail or roll from side to side like a canoe. And now hold your elbows and just come up into a modified Bhujanasana. Okay? So we're moving the buttocks. The buttock flesh is moving towards the feet. Okay? And the pubic bone is pressing down. So this is important to remember. The buttock moves towards the knees. The hamstrings are moving towards the knees. Okay? And we're just opening the upper back a bit. And come on down. And let's go back on up again. Move the buttock flesh towards the feet. Squeeze the upper back. So it's like a sponge. You're squeezing that upper back muscle. And when you relax, it's just being filled with fluid, softening. Okay, and then relax. And one more time, squeeze the upper back, move the buttock flesh towards your feet. And relax. Okay, so now we're going to roll over onto our backs to practice the pose. So, you want your feet, the toes facing forward, not out, not in, but straight forward. And your knees hip distance apart. Okay? If you have extra block, you could put one here. Okay? And just stretch your arms overhead. If you don't have the block, that's all right. Okay. And now we're going to take the block, and you could either use the high side or the low side. I'm going to use the high side and place it across the back of your pelvis. Okay? So this gives an opportunity, so just let your pelvis drop. Let the back of the pelvis widen and soften. Okay? Check in with your feet. You have 4 points on your feet. Under your big toe, under your little toe, on the inside of the heel, on the outside of the heel. Press those 4 points down, and then let the soles, the skin of the feet drop down. And you'll feel that this becomes all activated. Of course, we have a lot of lymph nodes here as well. So this pose is going to release some of the toxins from these lymph nodes, as well as build bones in the hips, in the femur, and across the back body. So weight on the shoulders. Okay, so everybody, you could grab the sides of your mat. You see, like with like your fingers or lobster claws, and turn the cracks of your elbow towards the ceiling. You could kind of wiggle your shoulders right to left to get them closer together. Lengthen the neck. So we can keep holding on to the mat or do the karate chop. So let's try the karate chop. So fingers, hands are active like the queen's wave. You know, the queen waves like this. So the hands are active, pressing down the triceps, lengthening the necks, and lifting the pelvis up. I'm in control of my feet. I'm moving my buttock towards my knees and my hamstrings towards my knees. Okay? So there's no compression in the lower back. Come on down. Now try it. Pinching the sides of the mat, rolling the elbow cracks towards the ceiling, and lift. Now, which do you prefer? Okay, so select whether you want to do the karate chop or holding the side of the mat, and we're going to go up for 1 minute. Everybody ready? Inhale, exhale, lift the hips, move the buttocks towards the knees. So I'll just talk for this minute. So check in with your feet. Your toes are relaxed. You're pressing down the soles of the feet. The arches are lifting. Okay, the knees are straight forward. The hamstrings are moving from the buttocks to the knees, and the buttock flesh is pointed towards the knees. You're opening the eyelids of the groin. Okay, your spine is straight. Okay, the backs of you can feel your elbows on the mat. You can feel the back of your armpits pressing down. You can feel a line across the back of your shoulders. So we have 2 arches. We have the arch from the chin to our knee and from the right to the left over our heart. So here we're lifting our hearts up, up, up. The heart is coming up. The chin moves slightly towards the collarbone, and the heart is lifting up, up, up. And all the fascia and muscles and organs around the heart are loosening to give your heart lots of space to lift up. The buttocks are moving towards the knees. We have a few more minutes here. The heart is the highest point of this pose. And now slowly, slowly drop your hips back onto the block. Take the block away. Okay. And we're going to bring the right knee into the chest. Extend the left leg. If it's not comfortable to extend the left leg, you can put your foot down. But extend the left leg. Pull the right knee in. The shin parallel to the spine. And we're going to point and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. Flex. Put the foot down. Bring the other knee up. Bring that left knee into the chest. The shin parallel to the spine. Extend the right leg. Drop the back body. Point and flex. 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 Put that right foot down. Just stretch out. Arms overhead. Bring awareness to the back body. Let the back body be heavy, heavy, heavy. And then bend your knees. Roll over to the side and come sit up. Okay, so today we practice Setubandha bridge pose, which is a back bending action that stimulates the shoulders and the hips. In yoga, during this time of the virus that everyone is concerned about, yoga helps us build a strong immune system by reducing stress hormones. During this time, we can tune into ourselves and tune out all the external chatter. It also builds a strong rib cage and exercises the lungs. And it squeezes and releases toxins from the lymphatic system. So, hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Stay awesome. And remember, peace begins with a smile. And I will see you next video when we will continue with the 12 poses for osteoporosis, the Fishman method, which we will continue through this week.